All right, CNT125 troubleshooting lab. We've now moved on to layer 2. Layer 1, we were really just double checking all the cables in the correct ports, and we did locate one or two that were not correct. Again, using our map as our guide. So layer 2 now, we're going to start really looking at these ports. We have a bunch of ports that aren't showing link lights. So we want to try to see if we can figure out what's going on. So I'm going to start with a VLAN 10 PC, which actually the computer I'm using right now, I have plugged into port 1 on the switch. So this is acting as my VLAN 10 PC. I'm going to check, is my NIC actually functioning? Well, what I can do is I can do an ipconfig all on my command prompt. If I do an ipconfig /all, this will show me the MAC address and everything. So I'm going to scroll up here to my Ethernet 3. And it actually says the media is disconnected, but it does show me the MAC address and things like that. So that's a clue that this thing is functioning. It's just not connected, so we're not getting link lights. I do have it plugged in, but I don't have a link light. Well, I'm going to take this PC, I'm going to plug it into a VLAN 30 port. That was like our port 21 we found out. So I'm going to go the whole way over here to 21. I'm going to do the same thing. Again, I don't get a link light. And on that PC, again, if I do an ipconfig on it, /all, I would double check, is it functioning, is it working? Here's my Ethernet 3. Okay, all right, it's not functioning, not working. And I could even go so far as to look at my network settings, go to my network and sharing, change my adapter settings, and I see that Ethernet 3 is unplugged. It's there, but it's unplugged. That's another check I can do. And I'll shut my wireless off if that is not already done so. So there's my Ethernet 3. It's there, but it's not, it's not getting anything from the network. Well, let's get into the switch now. I'm going to move my console cable into my switch. So I'm moving my equipment rack around here so I can do that. Let's go into the switch and see what we can see on the switch. So it's console into the switch here. Enable. If we look at our map, I think we have this set up to be our switch username, test password, and our enable password is class. Right there it is, so class. So let's do a show run on this guy. And let's take a look at what we got. We have some VLANs here, and I see shutdown, I see shutdown, I see shutdown. We have a whole bunch of ports shut down. Well, as I go down through, I see a whole bunch shut down. I see some that are on. So I have a mixture of things. Here's my VLAN 30 wireless ports. Okay, they're there. Doesn't look like they're shut down. So what I think I'll do, let's turn these ports on. If I look at the first handful of ports for my VLAN 10 and 20, that's ports, 1, 2, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Let's grab those ports and let's turn them on. So we'll do config T, and actually let's do this. Let me do this real quick. Let's do show interface on this one. Fast Ethernet 0/1. Let's look at 0/1 interface. This says it's administratively down, line protocol is down. Yeah, that's letting you know this thing is turned off. It is no longer functioning, or it's configured, but it's turned off. So we'll do a config T on here. We'll do interface range, and let's do fast Ethernet 0/1 to 15, and we're going to say no shutdown on these guys. Let's bring those online. Oh, there we go. We got a whole bunch of ports coming online. Good, good, good. So now let's do a show run and look at these first handful of ports. Oh, they're no longer shut down. Good, good, good. Well, I'm now going to take a look at my workstation. I'm going to plug my workstation back into port 1 over here. And let's see if I get a link light now. Ooh, I'm starting to get a link light. I'm starting to get a link light. And it's even showing that that port is coming on. So if I were to go back to my PC here, do an ipconfig /all, I'll no longer see that this is shut down. I'm getting a 169.254, so at least I know this port is on and functioning, which is good. Okay, So on my switch, we had some ports off. Let's look at the other ports down here. Make sure we're not missing any. Coming down through, I don't see any other ports shut down. That's good. Okay, so there's my switch. We'll go back here to our layer 2. Okay, so on my switch, I have some ports that I just turned on. And if I now look at, let's look at this show interface again. Let's look at the show interface, fast Ethernet 0/1. If I look at this now, it says it's up and up, meaning it's configured and it's connected. So that is my clue. If I'm remoting into this switch and looking at it, if I look at that the show interfaces and I look at that first line and see up and up, I know it's on, it's configured. So I'm going to do a copy run start on this guy, and I'm going to save that. Let's move on to the router now, because we noticed we had some links off on the router. So I'm going to move my console cable over to the router. And let's do the same thing on the router. Let's do a enable class show run. And let's go down through here. I notice my 00 is shut down. Let's keep going. It looks like my 01 is shut down. So you know what? Let's get these guys online right away. Config T, interface fast Ethernet 0/0, no shutdown. And I'm actually going to go look at this interface while I do this. If that's my fix, if you will, I should see that interface come online. And it does. I now see blinky link lights next to it. Yay. Let's do the other interface, 01. Let's do a no shutdown on this guy as well. And now I'm going to look at that interface while I do it, and I see blinky link lights come online there. All right. So again, if I do a, let's do a show interfaces on this guy. Fast Ethernet 0/1. We'll pick on 0/1. Since I turn it on, I see up and up. I see up and up. That's letting me know that that is coming online. So let's do a show run down here again. And I'll see under these interfaces, I no longer see that shutdown. And I no longer see a shutdown under this guy either. Yay. Okay, so there's some layer 2. We'll do a copy run start on this guy. There's some layer 2 fixes on the router now. So before I go any further, I will go back and let's look at my PC right now is plugged into port 1. So I'm in VLAN 10. I will do an IP config on this and see what do I get now. Well, Ethernet adapter 3, I'm getting a 169.254. Okay. Well, it at least shows me this port is on. It's not, something's not right, but it's at least on. And if I were to do a release and then a renew on it, I don't think I would get much different. But I can do that real quick while I'm here just to see if I pick up an IP. But I at least know that port is on because I did not have a blinky link light before. And here's my Ethernet 3. Actually, it's starting to pick up an IP now. All right. So we know our port is online. I'm really just looking at, like we said, looking at the network status. I'll go to my NIC status here. Network and sharing. Oops, get out of here. Let's go network and sharing. I see Ethernet 3 now, and when I open Ethernet 3, I actually see it's enabled. Before we couldn't see that because it was off. If I go out here to Ethernet 3, I see it's there. It's not connected to anything, but at least it's there. So there is kind of like the checking our layer 2, looking at these interfaces, looking at these network cards, looking at the interfaces on my switches and my routers, and making sure they're turned on. I now should have blinky link lights. I have them on my router, and I have them on my switch, and I have them on my workstation. So we at least now have layer 1 and layer 2 functioning in our network.